This is an extremely expensive adventure where you go to this company, they send you down in a submersible to explore and go through the Titanic. I think it's like $250,000 per person per seat or whatever. And they've lost contact with the submersible now. So it's been a scramble to try and like locate it, find them, and get them out. Now, one other thing that I think is important that we go into this with the knowledge of is this CEO sounds like a fucking maniac. Now, I do recognize that he is reportedly on this vessel as it's missing, crazy, so there is potential that he's dead. And it sounds like that's almost entirely his fault. I read this about him earlier. So there were already problems with this submarine, apparently. So in 2018, there was a lawsuit about it being a potential danger to passengers. So there were all kinds of red flags here. And the CEO at some point, I don't know if it's in this article, I haven't read this one. At some point, the CEO said that the safety requirements for the submarine were obscenely strict, complaining that the safety was overbearing. Like he was complaining that things were too safe. So it sounds like he was a corner cutter.
But even though it was why the fuck would you go down to a ship with the Titanic? Why would you go all the way down when the Titanic is there? Why? What's the need? And you pay $250K just to see a fucking ship. Just to see a fucking ship. Who cares? It's the fucking Titanic. It's down there for a reason. And you went all the way down there to see a fucking ship that's made of fucking mold and shit and fucking, fishes and shit. Other fucking diseases on that fucking ship, and you went down there to see it. Cause of what? These guys are crazy.
To save a little bottom dollar. Boss of missing Titanic submersible once called his industry obscenely safe.
Even if it's safe,
Daredevil inventor is understood to be on board the submersible that lost contact with the surface last week. That is the last person I would want manning my fucking Titanic deep sea adventure. The Daredevil inventor.
What the fuck?
That's such a wild thing to complain about, too. The industry being obscenely safe. I can't get over that.
Hell no.
But it is a very dire and very serious situation. There is a good chance that they're either dead right now or will be shortly. They can't find them. Last I heard, they're only about 30 hours left.
They're 100% dead.
As of like
Sharks
a couple hours ago.
As we speak.
Oh, here we go.
Sharks are eating
Russ
them
said
as we
that there have
speak,
been no injuries in the field for decades, adding, it's obscenely safe because they all have these regulations, but it also hasn't innovated or grown because they all have these regulations. What the fuck do you mean? Before people complain about it being controlled by a Logitech controller, they almost definitely had backups, and controllers are used for a lot of scientific and military systems such as drones, submarine periscopes because of their ergonomic and intuitive design. The design sucked for many reasons, such as the under-engineered window and lack of escape hatch. That's another thing of prerequisite knowledge here. I saw this all over Twitter, so I had to look this up at least a little bit because so many people were arguing. It was controlled by I think it was a $20 Logitech gamepad.
Bro.
Which is
a... They bought a PS3 controller until fucking... They're controlling it with a PS3 controller. They're controlling it with a PS3 controller. Are they stupid? A PS3 controller. You don't have a stick that like, what's the stick? The fucking ship around that you see on them fucking, them big ass ships. Them yachts and shit. They have that remote control shit. You bought a fucking PS4 controller. Until
apparently industry norm in military equipment and other high value
and you're expected to survive when you see a PS3 controller on a fucking submarine boat.
It's a little goofy to read about, but it's apparently industry standard. Yep, this is from 2 months ago. The U.S. military will fight the next big war with an Xbox-style video game controller, and it's just literally using Xbox controllers.
Oh god, it's a fuck.
They legitimately use these for very high tech.
Is it
Why not a PS4
They're dead.
controller? I don't know, brother.
They're dead.
You're asking the wrong guy.
They're using an Xbox controller.
I also wonder if third-party controllers can give you like a boost if you have like the extra little toggles on the back that used to be illegal in professional Call of Duty. Like little paddle shifters or something. The Xbox controllers have better aim assist. Yeah, I suppose so. While it is bigger than competitors, passengers are required to sit on the floor with limited room to move around. Yeah, that's the scariest part of submarines in general. I think there's almost nowhere more miserable to be in the entire universe than in a fucking submarine. You can't go anywhere. It's very cramped. Much of the interior, the company
I
admits,
know for a
consists
fact
of
it's
several
smaller, so
pieces
it's
of
probably
off-the-shelf
stinking like
technology,
shit in that submarine
which
as
it
well.
says help to streamline the construction and makes it
Someone
simple to
definitely took
operate
a
and
shit
replace
while
parts
being
in the
down there.
field.
I know for a fact.
I don't know.
You have to
To me,
smell
that doesn't
that shit as
sound
well.
like extremely
you can't
nice. Like, that
open
wouldn't build
nothing.
confidence for
You
me.
would
I'd
die.
like to hear that these parts came directly from, like, the finest forges in Mordor or something. Like, something really strong sounding as opposed to off the shelf. Mr. Rush, speaking to CBS News last year, said piloting the sub shouldn't take a lot of skill. Why? I feel like it absolutely should. There's people's lives at stake there. Like 10,000 leagues under the sea. You should have a very skilled pilot behind the controller of that puppy. Give me a goddamn esports pro or something. Don't just give me anybody. Oh man, God, this is fucking terrifying. OceanGate says it's an experimental vessel and told CBS Travel on board correspondent he had to sign a waiver to accept it has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. I understand waivers are pretty standard, but the regulatory body thing is actually surprising to me that anyone can build, or any company rather, can build a sub and just take people under the sea without any level of like safety inspection.
You didn't put no like hands on like the submarine or nothing to bring you back up.
Oh, yikes. Okay. The company explained why the Titan had not been classed by an independent body. Bringing an outside entity up to speed on every innovation before it is put into real-world testing is an anathema to rapid innovation. This guy fucking hates inspectors and safety. Why? Oh my god.
Like,
yeah, we don't get it inspected or approved by any kind of knowledgeable people. I said it's good enough, so that's probably enough. Crew searching for the Titan submersible heard banging sounds every 30 minutes, and for 4 hours later, after additional sonar devices were deployed, banging was still heard according to an internal U.S.
Oh, the fuck, they were banging. Yeah, long day.
It sounds like they're alive. Like, I don't think that banging is Davy Jones or anything. Like, I mean,
what's the time like?
Sounds like they're
3 o'clock. Yeah,
still
they're dead
alive.
now. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but if they're freaking out, they're going to be using a lot more
Yeah,
oxygen.
they're definitely dead now.
These are, from what I understand, these are like just rich people, not fucking hardened super soldiers. Of course they're going to be freaking out in the face of death on a submarine at the bottom of the fucking ocean. So I think they're already working under the assumption that they're consuming more oxygen than normal.
Overseeing the fucking Titanic.
Too deep for that.
You paid 250K.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not like a fucking nautical engineer, but I feel like...
And do you know the craziest thing? The billionaire dad took his fucking son. The billionaire dad took his fucking son. I will beat up my dad on my life. My dad took me down to see the Titanic, and I died. I died going to see the fucking Titanic. I'm killing my, bro. While we're in there, I'm beating up my dad. Everyone's getting fucked up, including the people that made that shit. I don't give a fuck.
So these things, like,
the guy is like 18.
I know when you do.
The guy is 18 and he went down there.
What's that deep sea tour?
He could have been at school.
Another rich people
high
thing.
school.
I can't remember the name of it, but they have like a giant rope that tethers it to that ship. But I guess maybe it doesn't go as deep. It's just not possible at 13,000 feet. Okay, fair enough. How OceanGate built improvised submersible from camping kit and video game controller. Again, the video game controller is kind of industry standard, but what do they mean built from a camping kit?
Don't tell me they built a fucking controller from a camping kit, bro.
We only have one button. That's it.
Is that how it looks like? Yeah, they're fucked.
Take a lot of skill.
What the f?
That's what it looks like.
Those pictures don't do it justice. Oh my god, this looks miserable.
They're dead. They are dead.
Holy shit.
They are dead.
And just a single button on board like an elevator. That does not inspire confidence. I want this shit to look like the Starship Enterprise, with 1,000 different ways of controlling it.
Bro, they're dead.
$250,000 in your crisscross applesauce in like a car trunk.
Facts.
Yeah, there's like a small
like
bathroom area. I read it in the article.
Bruh.
So there is like a small place to relieve yourself, but he recommends that you change your diet to reduce the chance of that of you needing to use it. Look at that. What?
Is that what the bro? What?
What? How? I can't believe anyone would go on this. $250,000. I show up and I see this. I'm just leaving, and I'm asking for my money back ASAP. Holy shit! Actual, yeah, like actual just tape and Sharpie here.
Bro.
These off-the-shelf components.
At least they have a TV on there. That must be nice.
World, we
I watched a
want
couple of
everything
movies.
with
You know?
this game controller.
Oh, he's even got nipples on it.
That's not funny, bro.
What does this even really help with?
That's not funny.
Why would you even bother putting the nipples on it?
As we'll show you a little later on Sunday
Why
morning.
would you make that joke?
where things have to be.
I feel like that window at that depth is just an absolute recipe for disaster.
No windows, no nothing.
Again, I'm not an
Pitch
expert.
black.
Let me see it here at the bottom.
That though, how it just kind of emerges out.
That thing is like fucking pathetic to look at.
They're definitely
I'll
pitch
just
black.
say it. Like, oh my god. Actually, tape and Sharpie, Camping World supplies. Oh my god. The porthole window is rated for 1,300 meters, and they dove to 4,000
Pitch
meters.
black. 4,000 meters, bro.
Well, you know. Simple miscalculation. Okay. Sunday night, it lost contact with a support ship. About an hour and 45 after submerging. Jesus, so like almost instantly.
What?
Because it's like an 8-hour journey. So that happening at an hour 45 is pretty much right off rip.
As soon as they went down, they lost fucking
They
thing.
went tits
What the
up
hell?
immediately. Jim Bellingham,
Oh, bro,
a John
everyone's dying
Hopkins
if I'm
University
down there,
expert
bro,
on
I
deep
don't care.
operations, told USA Today there's 3 possible locations for the submersible. One possibility is that it could be floating on the ocean's surface after an electrical failure or some other mishap. Another is that it's drifting in the water column anywhere between the surface and the bottom because it became buoyantly neutral. Or it could be on the sea floor, perhaps tangled with something that won't let it float to the top.
Damn.
The first one is by far the best position, Bellingham said, because even though it would be difficult to spot the 21-foot-long Titan amidst the waves, the Coast Guard is just awesome at this. They have amazing capability to see something pretty small in the ocean. Yeah, I think he's probably right on the money. The best case scenario is that they are floating somewhere out in the surface.
Fuck me, that's
Anything
dumb.
else is a
That's
little
so
rough.
true.
God, that's so fucking terrifying. Because if it is actually on the seabed, like, how are they supposed to save it? Like, how are you supposed to rescue them? Like, let's say, so the update from CNN 9 minutes ago was that
SpongeBob
they
is
were
rapping to
banging,
them right
which
now, bro. It's
I
over
think
for
sounds
them.
like good news. It leads me to believe that they might still be alive. So they were hearing, like, banging on the equipment.
Bro, I didn't pay
How are you
for
supposed to
it.
save
I'm
them
telling
if
you,
they're
listen
on
to
the-
that
on
shit
the
right now.
seafloor?
Not for a fact.
13, like, you're supposed to send another
Battle,
Titan vessel
bro,
down
you
there? Like,
didn't
you're
pay
gonna,
for
like,
it.
put one together with more camping
I
world equipment?
didn't savor
there's-
it. I'm
how
telling
are you supposed to save
One
it?
of them rapping that down
So
there
even
right
if you
now.
do
I'm telling
locate them,
finish.
you can do nothing to really help.
Ain't no way they're coming back
A
up.
magnet like Breaking Bad.
Ain't no way they're
Oh
coming
my
up.
god, sign this man up to NASA. What if you get a huge magnet and you just start putting it over the ocean
Bro, it's a
and
magnet.
see if it starts
Magnet.
bringing him to the top?
Magnet.
This
A
man's
magnet.
thinking with galaxy brain. Project
Nigga, they're
Authority is a
4,000
US
meters
Central
in
Intelligence
the
Agency
ground,
project to
and
recover
you're
a
talking about
Soviet
magnets.
submarine.
Magnet won't even take them halfway.
K-129 from the Pacific
be dead.
Ocean floor using
They're already dead.
using a
Talk about
purpose-built Hughes Glomar Explorer. This just sounds fucking awesome. What? The ship recovered a portion of the K-129, but a mechanical failure in the grapple caused 2/3 of the recovered section to break off during recovery. So it basically worked up until it didn't.
Bro.
Very interesting. So this was fundamentally like a giant crane that would be precisely lowered and lifting it up. So realistically, if we still had the Hughes
What? That's-
Glomar Explorer here with this equipment,
Oh shit! They could,
they
use
could
that
just
to
call
lift
that
them
bitch up right now and actually stand a chance if they could locate them. James
could, you
Cameron
know.
about to come out of retirement to rescue him. I mean, legitimately, do they have that?
Bro, they're dead.
James Cameron has.
Bro, they're gone. R.I.P. It is like, what's the time? Like 3 o'clock. They're gone. They're done. Bro, it's over for them. I feel like, why would you pay $250K to see the Titanic? You can just see on the internet. Or just, I don't know, like, why? What was the point? You have life. Why waste it for a fucking ship that is 4,000 meters in a fucking... You know, I'm no... There's no point of getting angry. There's no point. Because it just, to me, it's just very dumb. And why would you go down there to see a Titanic, a ship, which is down there for a reason? Because people are dead on that ship, and you go down there to see it. And now you were probably dead as well. Like, bro, that's their fault. I blame the billionaire people bro, that's just dumb to me. That's dumb.